Hello, ladies. Welcome to the Gayu Lewis Podcast. I'm your host, Gayu Lewis, a leading women's wellness advocate. And this podcast is all about supporting women through menopause and beyond. Today, I have an amazing guest. Megan, once a critical care and air ambulance nurse at a bustling trauma unit in Toronto, has taken her passion for healing to a whole new level. Now, she's all about using the power of aromatherapy and essential oils to help high performers and busy mums naturally boost their health and wellness. By integrating these natural remedies, Megan teaches people how to enhance their productivity and resilience, both at home and in their workplace. She's dedicated to showing others how simple natural solutions can make a huge difference in managing stress and maintaining energy levels throughout their demanding days. Today, we'll dive into how Megan harnesses the subtle yet powerful benefits of aromatherapy to transform lives. Megan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Gayu, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm very excited to learn all about oils and aromatherapy, and I think it's a very, very in-trend. I wouldn't call it a trend, but I think it's something people need to understand and learn more. And hence, I said I had to have you in this podcast to, teach people or probably educate people more on essential oils and not just it's just a fancy thing, but can actually help you with your health.
That's absolutely correct. Especially these days, health and wellness has become a major topic of not only discussion, but after the past few years with the pandemic, people have really started to focus more on their health and more natural means to maintain their health as much as possible.
Can you tell our listeners a little bit about your background and what inspired you to move out from such a high pressure job and now focusing on aromatherapy for wellness?
I've been here in Dubai 18 years, and after I was burnt out from trauma nursing in Toronto, but I miss it. I absolutely love it. This is a way for me to stay in this healthcare industry, but on the flip side, using natural therapies as opposed to pure pharmaceuticals, traditional pharmaceuticals. And for me, I am so passionate about it. I just love to help people. And when I decided to leave nursing, I just felt that I wasn't, everything else that I tried to do wasn't giving me the satisfaction that I was looking for. And this really, I'm so passionate about it that I just want to share the knowledge because people don't realize how powerful these essential oils are and how much they can help them.
Who introduced you to oils?
It was a friend of mine, funny enough. She was already in doTERRA. And she said to me, every time I went out, I would ask for lemon and peppermint in my water. She says, and she's already tried to convince me, if you just had one bottle of each, you could just bring it with you everywhere. And you're going to really taste it and it's powerful and there's all these benefits. So I thought, okay, let me just give it a try. Let me just try it because just the fact that I could add it to my food and my water, that was like kind of a game changer because I didn't know anything about essential oils. I was like anybody else. I knew nothing. And once I started, I would say peppermint was my gateway oil. Loved it. I still use it today. Every single day I use it. And the lemon, I've kind of switched over to lime, but same benefit. But once I started to use it, I just wanted to learn more about it. Why is it that I can add this to my water and not any of the other oils? So that was really interesting to me. And then it just snowballed from there until today.
So you're thankful to that friend to push you to buy the bottle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like why can't I just go and get any other brand? They say that they're pure. Yeah. Why specifically this one? And then at the time I had to get it from the US. So it was kind of a bit cumbersome. Yeah. So it took some convincing, but here I am.
Talking about aromatherapy, can you explain what aromatherapy is and what is its historical origin? How did it come into play?
Yeah. So aromatherapy is simply the use of aromatic essential oils to enhance the health and well-being of your mind, body, and your spirit. So it's just a way towards a holistic natural health and well-being.
Okay.
And the history, if we go back to ancient history, Chinese used it in their ancient Chinese medicine. The Indians used it in Ayurveda. The Egyptian used it in embalming, cosmetics, and fragrance. And the Greeks and the Romans also. And Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, he was really all about, and he promoted using essential oils in the bath and for massage. And then when we come to the 19th century, in 1937, there was a French chemist, Maurice Gadafosse. He was working in his lab with essential oils, and there was an explosion, and he burnt his hand. He stuck his hand in a jar of lavender. Is all he had, and the next morning, it had healed.
Okay.
So that was. He's the one that actually coined the phrase aromatherapy after that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it came from Maurice Gadafosse. Yeah. And then, of course, there's Dr. Valneau, a French doctor. In World War II, he was using it to heal soldiers' wounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So very, very interesting to know about aromatherapy. Talking about like this whole podcast, like I said, it's all about women wellness. I want to understand, with respect to women's health and wellness, what are some of the essential oils that are particularly beneficial?
Yeah, there's a few. I try to, when I speak with women, I try to keep it very simple to the ones that specifically will address their needs in that moment. And because it can kind of be a little bit of information overload if you say too much, even though everybody wants to know more, then it's like, oh my goodness, this is too much. It can actually stop people from wanting to get into it because it's just, how do I even manage to use all of these?
Yeah.
So I keep it very simple. So in women's health, if we're talking about, we can talk about a little bit of a skincare. So we have frankincense is amazing for skincare, and helichrysum, because I do my own blend. I've got frankincense, helichrysum. I put lavender because we already know, as I discussed, lavender is healing. All of these essential oils have more than one use. So lavender not just heals the skin, but also for rest and relaxation, which we can talk about later. But so I have helichrysum, which there are big brands, I won't mention the names, of big brands here that are using helichrysum in their product, and then they patent it. Okay. And helichrysum comes from a yellow flower along the Mediterranean. And they call it it is a helichrysum flower, but it's the everlasting flower because it just never dies. Right. So you mix those, the frankincense and the helichrysum in particular, are great for cellular rejuvenation. It's like a youth serum.
Wow.
And it's antioxidant repair, and it prevents further DNA damage to the skin. And of course, we always dilute the oils. I love to use the fractionated coconut oil, it just means that there's no fragrance of the coconut and it stays liquid even in cool temperatures. But I love to put it with the castor oil, because castor oil, of all the oils, jojoba and those other oils, it's the deepest penetrating. So I'll mix it with that in a 10 ml roller, and then I go with that. And I find it's just so amazing with the lavender, and that's my go-to. And same for my hair. I do rosemary essential oil with lavender for healing scalp, and peppermint, because peppermint is also rejuvenating to the scalp and it will bring the flow of blood. And then rosemary, clinically proven to grow hair way better than minoxidil or Rogaine, clinically proven. After 6 months, the hair growth is more. After 3 months, there's a little bit more on that side, but after 6 months, it really does the job. And I see every hair growth product is now including rosemary. So that's my hair and my face, my skin. And I haven't, you can add them to lotions. If you want a fragrance with lavender, add it to your lotions. And there is a ratio that you should go with, but maximum concentration is around 5%. So if you put it in 10 mLs, it's like 15 drops or 2 to 3 drops in 1 teaspoon, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of, you spoke about, each oil having its own specific property. And when you mix them, are there benefits of mixing, or is it that certain oils, when they mix, their potential of power goes down?
No, actually, it's kind of synergistic. So they all work together and they play the role that they're supposed to play. So really, it's going to come down to what's your preference in terms of fragrance. Okay. Yeah, because for instance, when I first started using lavender, I did not like lavender at all, at all. And now I absolutely love it.
Okay.
So we can train our noses. If there's something that we know is absolutely beneficial, but we don't like it, we kind of like, it's like, okay, I'm holding my nose, but I'm going to use it anyways because I know it's beneficial.
Yeah.
But yeah, I eventually come to love it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
they all work harmoniously. So there is, okay. So you can create your own blend for whatever, like for the purpose that you're looking for.
Exactly. And there are perfume blends that people might want to create. Now, I'm not an expert in perfumes and making the essential oils. It's really funny because I thought I'd blend some citrus. I did a grapefruit, I did a lemon, did a wild orange, and I threw in ylang ylang. And people are like telling me that they thought it was so great, I should sell it, make it and sell it. It's like, and I did it completely by accident. So it's really comes down to personal taste. Now, of course, there's top notes, middle notes, and lower notes. And you can do the research and find out online which ones work the best together. But yeah, it's whatever works for you. It's so individualized, and that's what's so great about it.
I forgot the name. There is some instrument that you use, right, to measure which oil, what kind of a person, which oil is the best for you.
The iTovi.
Yes.
Yeah, that device is so much fun. It's almost like a game. And it's crazy because it's accurate. I've used it on several people. Yeah, and it just sends a few not noticeable electrical currents through your skin. And from that, it does a feedback on which essential oils your cells need in this moment.
Yeah.
You can see it change if you go, say it says you need lavender, for instance. I'll stick with lavender. And you put lavender in your hand or on your skin, then it will eliminate that.
Yeah.
So it's quite accurate. I love that device. Yeah.
It always tells me I need rose, which is $100 bottle. And I'm like, come on, come back to like a $30 bottle for me. Talking about, I'm a menopause coach, and I like a lot to help women going through, the menopausal symptoms. How can aromatherapy specifically help women going through menopause?
So when it comes to the aromatherapy in the menopause, there are oils that work wonderfully because some people will have emotional upheavals due to the menopause and the changes in the hormones. So we can, and I love to stick with lavender, pardon me, but that is such an all-round essential oil that works great for just about everybody. But that's great to calm the emotions. Geranium as well, because the geranium in particular, frankincense does the same, clary sage, they tend to balance out the estrogen. Fennel, a lot of people don't talk about fennel, which is interesting. Now, the North American Menopause Society, they cited a recent study that was done with 79 Iranian women, and their average age of menopause is like 48.2. So they did a study. They were aged from 45 to 60 on these 79 women. It's a small cohort group, but and they followed them for 10 weeks, and they had a placebo group and the group that had fennel, 100 milligram essential oil in the veggie caps twice a day. And far and above, it was shown that fennel is not only safe and effective, fennel essential oil, but the women really had lesser symptoms of the anxiety, of the hot flushes, even, and the sleep issue, the insomnia.
Okay.
So it's really incredible. And I put fennel essential oil in my water every day. I will not be without it. That lavender, sometimes I'll mix that with lemon, and it's so calming. Yeah, and I just mix it up. But those and the peppermint, we cannot exclude peppermint. Mind you, that's more topical.
Yeah.
But that is a game changer, because once you put that peppermint on your skin, not only will your hot flushes just come to almost a halt in a lot of times, but you're going to sleep because you've got the coolness.
Yeah.
And it's even going to lessen the severity. If it doesn't stop it, you're going to notice it's going to make it a whole lot better. Yeah.
Question. So when you say peppermint, 100% has to be diluted, right? Because otherwise it's going to...
Always. I cheat because I'll put it on straight. And I always tell people you have to dilute, but people still put it on straight. But when you dilute it, even the 5%, you can still dilute it as you're supposed to. But I think people will still
keep it on a higher concentration.
Yeah, do what they want because they like the benefits. Now, I've done it where I just want to see what happens. So I use myself as a test, and I was putting it on my chest. Now I did get the sensitivity in the sense that it was very itchy, and then I had a little bit of a rash, but that went away once I stopped using it here
Yeah.
for a while, and then it went away, and then I knew
Probably
okay.
a more sensitive skin, maybe the back of the head. Where would you ideally advise people to put peppermint oil?
Oh, the back of the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when I worked in the hospital, when people got nauseated, you just feel hot all over. First thing we do is slap a cold towel on the back of the neck,
Yeah.
and it makes a world of difference. It makes a world of difference. So yeah, and I've done it on other ladies as well when they're having in the midst of a hot flush, and I put the peppermint on, and they come back and they're like, that was like magic.
That's like an air conditioner specifically for me.
Yeah. And it lasts hours.
Yeah.
So it's really great. And especially in this hot weather.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
So everyone should have a bottle of peppermint oil.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Talking about, we spoke about these oils, but are there any specific essential oils which people should avoid, especially menopausal women?
Not so much. It's going to come down to whether you're allergic or whether you're sensitive to it. So it's pretty much what works for you. The only thing I would say is that unless you are having a health issue that's like, say, estrogen sensitive, breast cancer, endometriosis, something like that.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, the essential oil world is your oyster.
Okay, so there is not something that you should avoid. Like you can, all of them are pretty good and they're going to help you.
Yeah, the ones that are meant for menopause. Yeah. So, and along with that, of course, you want to have your phytoestrogens and all of the other, things that you should be doing in terms of diet and exercise. But yeah, when it comes to like clary sage, that one, that's a doTERRA product. Sorry, I should say clary calm. Sorry, but clary sage is amazing. Geranium is amazing because these are from flowers and they're from plants, so from nature. So as I said, the only ones that they should not really should really be careful with would be the clary sage that affects your estrogen level, the fennel that affects your estrogen level if you're having these health issues that are estrogen sensitive.
Okay, interesting to know because sometimes you don't realize what and then end up taking something.
Yeah.
How can these essential oils be incorporated into our daily wellness routine? What is, you said you can put it into your your lotions and stuff like that, but as part of your routine, what would you suggest? Not just topically applied, but in general.
Yeah. So how I start my day when I get up, I after brushing my teeth with my essential oil toothpaste, I turn on my diffuser. I diffuse balance first thing in the morning because I want to be grounded when I start my day because I'm so busy. And some days I literally wake up with racing thoughts in my mind. And so I get up, I put that balance on right away. And then I go with the clary calm. And I put the peppermint on my neck because it's going to be hot outside. I carry my kit with me all day. And if I have any moments I'm a little bit nervous about something, I'll put my balance on. I'll take right from the bottle. As I said, everybody should dilute it, but I put it on my wrists, my pulse points, my balance, and that carries me through the day. Now, at the end of the day, afterwards, I sometimes like to do a foot soak because nobody has time to be soaking in a bath.
Yeah.
And even when you're putting it in a bath or a foot soak, it still has to be diluted. So you still have to add either coconut oil, dilute it with it, or Epsom salt, just put in some Epsom salt and then put it in the bath. And then, that's an amazing way to wind down. And when I go to bed, I diffuse. I have to say,
lavender.
Lavender, yeah. I have to say, if I don't diffuse lavender at night, my dog will not sleep.
Okay. He needs it more.
Oh, absolutely. Because she's a creature of habit. And if something's off, she won't. I even used it for her skin. The lavender in a spray I've got put in there, lavender, frankincense, myrrh. I add copaiba as anti-inflammatory, and I spray it on her skin because she has a bit of eczema, and that makes so much of a difference. And then she licks everything off her paws, so I know it's safe and it's not going to hurt her. So I'm 100% all about using the oils all through the day. Fragrance. Whenever I meet people, they tell me I smell like the spa all the time.
I have a similar spray for my dog as well. I use a lavender on him, and it actually, I think, calms him down
Yeah,
in
yeah.
general. So he's like very calm and composed at that time.
Yeah, because my Yorkie is very hyper. Something happens, somebody rings a doorbell or somebody comes over, she will not settle. And I just actually sometimes just take the bottle and pass it by her
Very
nose,
nice.
and it just quietens her right down, like right away.
Yeah, I think they're probably as close to human, right?
Yeah.
Um, are there any specific blends or recipes you recommend for general well-being?
Again, it's going to be based on the individual need.
Mm.
Yeah. So for me, I have several different blends because I said one for my
Yes.
hair, I do for my skin. I made that perfume blend that I
Yeah.
like. So it's just whatever is the prime concern or health issue. Go with that, and yeah. So and everybody's going to be different, and like for doTERRA, that's what's so great about it, because there's recipes online. If you have an issue about something, it might be one thing, it might be several things. You could probably combine everything in one. Um, but yeah, we just say there's an oil for that.
Okay, there's an oil for everything. In terms of when you use oils, should you use all these energizing oils in the day to push you through and then get into a more calmer notes during the day? And if you do use, I know everybody loves the orange of doTERRA, and if I use that in the evening, is it something that might affect my sleep, or because it'll keep me cheerful even in the night and not put me or not calm me down?
I would say the one I don't use even myself is the peppermint, because the peppermint has an effect on the part of our brain called the reticular activating system, the RAS, that's responsible for alertness.
Okay.
And I've done presentations at the gym for the and people come in, and the guys, I don't even give them a chance. I slap it all on them. I was like, look, this is going to really work and help your workout, because it really does wake up. I tell people it's like a slap in the face. You know, when you smell it, when you put it on, it's tingly, it's cold, it just keeps you going. And when I feel like I need to be alert for something, I put it on, and it really is a wake up. And it's clinically shown also that it enhances your stamina and endurance when you're working out.
Wow.
So for the women who are in menopause, and we all have to do our exercise and our weights, that is absolutely amazing, because you're not going to really sweat as much, and so your temperature's not going to get too hot, and you're going to do more and go further and longer.
Oh, very interesting. So basically just carry a roll on, even if a roll on of a peppermint, carry with
Yeah.
you all the time and use it. Gets me to this question, even in this hot weather, if I do carry it with me, is somewhere the property of the essential oil lost because of exposure to such high temperatures, or a dark colored bottle would still protect it?
The heat for long periods, for hours, like, because some of us say, oh, I got my delivery and it's warm, the box is hot, it's fine, it's fine. But if you're going to leave it in the car and day after day, then yeah, it's going to really destroy the terpenes, which is why we tell people they cannot. When people are selling essential oils and candles, they say, oh, yeah, my candles have essential oils. It's not the same, because they should not, the terpenes get destroyed once they get heated up. So all you're left with is the fragrance without the health benefits.
Ooh. So basically, there's no use buying these essential oil candles.
No use. And you never know what you're getting. People say, oh, it's pure. Where's the proof?
So best is to just diffuse the real essential oil
Yeah.
and get the benefits out of it.
Yeah. Or roll it on your skin or your pulse points, but no need to add heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. How can aromatherapy be integrated with other holistic wellness practices for managing menopause?
Yeah. So when it comes to meditation, it's great to meditate. And it's also great for mindfulness practices, yoga, because everything is about fragrances with yoga. Even when I went to yoga class, and the yoga instructor, when I was diffusing balance, she's like, "What is that? That is so nice, and it's perfect for yoga. This the balance, it's absolutely perfect. It's a very popular fragrance. Nobody does not like balance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one that it's in my arsenal. It's with me every day, and that's what I diffuse every single day. So it's one of the two I can't do that. I cannot do that lavender. I cannot do without balance at home.
One of my favorite oils is Stress Away. One of the oils that I like. It's
Ah,
it's
nice.
a nice oil. Um, you know, Are there any complementary therapies or practices that enhance the effectiveness of aromatherapy?
Massage. Yeah, massage like Hippocrates advocated for massage therapy because that is where it really gets right in and it does its work. There's also a technique and that's derived from, and I am so sorry I forgot the gentleman's name who is the owner of Symphony of the Cells.
Okay.
And he has created a book and he travels globally to teach therapists, or if you want to, massage therapists, or if you want to learn the technique of how to do the massage, which oils to use specifically for different issues, whether it could be for immunity or inflammation. And this is massage therapy on the back. Yeah, so it's really, really quite incredible the effect that the essential oils have that people really don't realize until they're finally ready to open their mind to try something different. And that's something that works, that they'll find that works.
Interesting. Couple of questions in terms of oils that you mentioned. We find a lot of oils in the market, right?
So many.
And a lot of people end up going in for the cheaper versions because the real essential oils are expensive, and they don't know the difference between the good and the bad, or the real and the fake ones. How do you differentiate? How does somebody, just because price, would you know that this is real, or could I actually have a very expensive oil and still be fake? How would someone really differentiate between a good and a bad oil?
Yeah, that's a great question because, like myself, when I started, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about anything when it comes to essential oils. And I was like everybody else, just getting it from the pharmacy because, hey, they're not going to sell us bad stuff, right? So when I started to do the research, I really started to learn how important it was to know the oils or the oil company that you're purchasing from. And as you're saying, price, that's a great starting point. If it's you get what you pay for and oils are the same. Also, if it says fragrance, it's adulterated.
Okay.
So that's another great way. You can read the label. It should always have the botanical name. It shouldn't just say lavender. It should be like lavandula, angustifolia, and sometimes it might say where it's from or sometimes not, but that's also another good indication. The brand reputation, also, if it's a very popular brand versus a little known brand. The other would be if you can contact that brand and say, "Can you provide me with a certificate of all of this, the testing that's been done on the oils?" doTERRA has open source.
Okay.
So you go online, you look at the lot number at the bottom of the bottle, and you can see over 60 different tests that have been done on that particular bottle.
Okay.
So it's open for everyone to see, and you can even you get the test results, and then you also get the printed report. It will always say unadulterated. So those are primarily how you can check. But definitely, if you research the brand, then that's a good way to know as well.
Question. I think some people might still be okay paying $100 for an oil which they're going to either topically apply or consume. Do they need to, question would be, do I need to spend the same when I'm diffusing? Can I go in for a cheaper variety?
Always go with the authentic brand that's pure. Sometimes the brand will also say pure.
Yeah.
Because there's no global authority governing body that's doing the testing on these companies' behalf. So it's up to the company to do that on its own. So this is, again, when it comes to research, look at the brand reputation, ask them if they can send you the report for that particular bottle, that lot number, and see what they say. Because I've had a Facebook conversation with a company I saw they were doing live. It's a company that's in India, a very big brand, saying that, yes, it's pure. She was applying it on her face. So I thought, I'm a little bit curious. So I asked the question, is this pure? And immediately she came over to me in the chat and asking me what did you want to know exactly? And I said, I'm just asking if this is pure. And to be honest, I owned this. I went to India. I thought, wow, it's pure. I got it from the airport gift shop, beautiful packaging. I loved it. And I never really got around to using all the products. So I asked, and she says, "Well, she says yes, it is. It's pure." And I said, "Can I get a report on that?" And she says, "Oh, well, you have to contact the office." And of course, when I contacted, I got no reply. So that for me was an indication. So it doesn't really take long to kind of learn that if it's pure or not pure. But there is a lot of oils to choose from, so it can be confusing.
Yeah.
But I always had in my mind that whenever I brought like Now brand, um, I've never used it. It's I've had it in my cabinet because in the back of my mind, I was always like, I wonder, I'm not really sure. I wonder if what's in there, and never used it. So it's hard to throw it away, but now it's just like decoration
Okay.
because I just so love, and you can tell when you have the pure essential oil, when you go around and you smell, whether it's any body shop, I'm not saying body shop, but any shop that's selling these types of products,
Yeah.
you can just tell. And right away, I get the allergic response of sneezing and my nose gets drippy. And yeah, so I can tell. I can tell. And anyone, once they start using the real deal, they will also be able to tell as well.
So you're saying that people actually get a reaction. You can easily get a reaction if the oil is not an essential oil and they've come in contact with it.
Yes, this is what typically happens because I've spoken to parents when I'm talking about essential oils and using them on the kids, and they're like, "Oh, well, yeah, well, I already use lavender, but it doesn't really work." And this is why, because you get a lower quality, it's highly adulterated, so it's definitely not going to have the same effect at all. And that's one way to tell. Some people say, "Oh, no, I'm allergic to fragrances. I'm allergic. I can't."
Right.
And this is exactly why. And it's the same like myself. I could never wear perfumes, fragrances. I just couldn't do it. So I found one that was a fresh fragrance and I stuck with it my whole life. And then now I came to learn, oh, well, that's exactly why, because of the processes that they use, even if they start using something that's pure, by this time they add this, add that, and they've adulterated it. It's changed from what it was to a lower quality.
Interesting to know. Talking about oils, again, you have some oils which you can ingest and some which are only topical. And even within the same range, you find like there is lemon that is for consumption, and some lemon which is only for diffusing or for topical. You find like a mix of both of the same oil though. Why is that?
Well, doTERRA, they have lemon, they have lime, they have grapefruit, all of which can go in your water.
Okay.
From doTERRA, because we know doTERRA is highly tested and they're a pure brand. But yes, other brands not so much, not so much. It's purely for diffusion. I go into the stores here when I see there's a diffuser going, they're selling oils, and I'll ask, "Can I put this on my skin?" No, it's for aromatherapy only. It's just for diffusing. So to me, if you can't put it on your skin, why would you want to inhale it? That's the fastest way into your lungs. Within 20 minutes, it's in every cell of your body where it's really doing the damage, because it's either going to do harm or it's going to do good. But we're talking about at the cellular level.
Right.
And when you think about your kids and your family, everybody being exposed to that, it just makes sense to go natural. And doTERRA is not that much more expensive. I would even dare say it's cheaper than what we're getting in the pharmacies right now.
And it's the best quality. That, I mean, it's 100% essential. So it's pure and very, very good for consumption and for usage.
Exactly. And you're going to get the amazing health benefits as well. So triple. Put it in your diffuser for inhalation, on your skin, ingest it, all from this one bottle. Mind you, one caveat, when it comes to these citrus oils, they are photosensitive. So definitely putting it on your skin, 12 hours, wait before you go outside. Otherwise, you're going to definitely either get a burn or get some reaction.
Interesting. Talking about essential oils, I'm a chef. I want to know, you've got so many different oils that are, for food. Specifically the herb ones. Can you let us know which is your favorite, or probably your top 3 favorite when it comes to food, herbal oils?
I love, well, this one is not herb, but I saw when I went to one of the grocery stores here that they had an olive oil that had wild orange. And I said, I could make this myself.
Yeah.
And I went home, I put wild orange in it for the salad. I put it on the salad and I made salad. And my husband was like, what did you put in this?
Love.
Yeah, exactly. And I refused to tell him, but he eventually guessed. He
Yeah.
eventually, it was like, he was like, this is really, really good. It's so amazing to have the wild orange in the olive oil and on the salad. Fantastic for summer, so light, so fragrant, and it tastes great. So that's one. And I do like a Thai chicken soup and then just add cilantro. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just one drop, it changes. Lemongrass.
Yeah.
Oh, and I put that in my water. So, so awesome. If you love lemongrass, this is definitely for you. So those are the three top ones that I put because I don't really cook. My husband does all the cooking. He does
Do you
absolutely all
like
the
just
cooking.
enhance it with these oils?
Yeah, he doesn't really care for adding the cilantro into his, to make the Thai soup.
Yeah.
But for me, Thai lemongrass and the cilantro.
So, like generally, people have salt and pepper in their trays on their dining table. You probably have essential oil kit there.
Oh, right in my kitchen. It's all in my kitchen. Yeah, exactly. And by the way, doTERRA does have pink pepper and black pepper.
Oh, interesting. Good to know that. We were talking about what you add to your food. Any personal story and experience where you've seen aromatherapy really benefit someone in their life or even your life, if you.
There's several stories, of course, because everybody tells me I love to hear these anecdotal stories from people. But I can definitely talk about my own because when I first started doTERRA, I had hypothyroidism. I had in the beginning I didn't know where or when it started. I didn't know that's what it was. I went to get a health check in the US. I was just going with my friend who was going for her health check at a wellness clinic. And she's like, hey, you might as well get one done too. Got one done. And I didn't realize that my eyebrows were getting a little thin on one side. I just didn't know what it was. But I went in, had my blood work done, came back, hey, your thyroid is really low. Oh, I had no idea because at that time I wasn't feeling any differently. I had no idea, just the eyebrow here, which at the time I didn't know was related.
Yeah.
So now fast forward a few years and I'm doing everything. The weight's coming on. I'm just feeling tired all the time. I could go to bed, wake up, an hour later, I could go back to bed. So I was just dragging myself around all day, didn't know why. And on top of that, I changed my diet. No more gluten. I got off bread, rice, I just changed my diet. Still gaining weight. Nothing was changing. And they just kept increasing the dose. I was getting the specifically for my blood work, I was getting the desiccated thyroid from bovine, which is supposed to be the best.
Yeah.
So, but it made no effect. Every 3 months, I'd go, okay, we have to increase the dose a little bit. Oh, and my cholesterol was so high because I had no idea that cholesterol at the time. Yeah.
Triggers.
Yes. So I was taking this supplement, everything they recommended I did. It didn't make a difference. I was just like, okay, that's just my life. That's it. That's just my life. I'm just going to have to live with it.
Medicines, yeah.
Until I started the essential oils with doTERRA. What a life changer it was for me because not only is doTERRA fantastic with the essential oils, but they're a great supplement brand as well. And then, and so through the essential oils and their supplements, I don't even take any more of the thyroid supplement pills because now my energy is up. My eyebrows grew back. I am not tired anymore and I've got full days. I'm so busy. I've got full days and I'm so, so happy. So no more pharmaceuticals for me. So that's definitely my story. Yeah.
Very, very interesting because when you have your own personal story, you can relate more to what you're trying to preach and, teach in general. Hearing from you, I can see there's so much benefit from essential oils, but there are very few people who actually practice it. What is it that you try to do or what we should do to make people more aware of the benefit that these oils have? And it, like you said, it's existed from so many years. What is it that we can do to educate people more to actually use this rather than going in for the medication?
Well, I tell people that this is an adjunctive therapy, so use it with the
Yeah.
medication that they're currently with their doctor, and always tell the doctor that they're taking, or before they start taking it. If they start taking it, let the doctor know, because again, if you have a condition that's estrogen sensitive, then the doctor definitely should know. Even if you're on HRT, then and you're getting this your creams and
Yeah.
things like that, that could also affect the dosage. So you always want to let your healthcare provider know. So what I do when I'm speaking with people, I keep it simple so that it's manageable, and I ask them, what is the most pressing health condition that you want to resolve today?
Yeah.
And I go with that, and I give them samples. So once they get the samples and they start using it, that's usually when they have the aha moment that something works for them. So keeping it simple and letting them try it, because it's one thing to say, oh, take this, take that, take that. And then, well, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, you say it works, but these are essential oils. I've been using them, they don't work, and you
Yeah.
can explain, but once they see the effect for themselves or see the effect on a family member, that is typically the game changer. And wild orange, that
Yeah.
alone.
I think everyone who's actually used that oil, they're like, oh, that oil just makes me happy. I smell that oil and I'm like I'm in La La Land.
Yes, it's so crazy. And I'd say to people, I love when they tell me that, because then we call it happiness in a bottle. But the fact that they're telling me, then that just proves. And the other thing is when people will smell the oil and then they say it takes them back to their childhood, because it gets that limbic system in the brain that's
Yeah.
responsible for memories and your mood. And it's just so great to hear when people give these stories.
It's probably, smells like an orange candy, which they ate probably during their childhood. Probably, it just
Yeah.
takes them back.
And the peppermint is like a gum.
Yeah. Uh, Talking about, we've heard a lot about doTERRA. What is doTERRA for our listeners? And your association with doTERRA, and how can people get or order doTERRA oils?
doTERRA, the name itself means gift of the earth. There are 7 original owners. The company is based in Utah, but the oils are globally sourced, sustainably sourced, and they go through a very high vetting process, each of the farmers. And doTERRA is so wonderful in that they work with the farmers for life. And in sometimes even giving them the seedlings to start their crop. And they pay more than the fair wage. So it's a wonderful company that's impactful, that gives back. They even have a charity foundation called Hope, which their essential oil called Hope goes to help, the proceeds go to help fight child trafficking.
Ooh.
So that's really incredible. And they get the oils from the farmers, and then they highly test them in the US. And then from there, they get distributed. And that's a global company. It's been around since 2008, and its valuation is over $2.4 billion already.
Wow.
So it's grown in leaps and bounds as the word gets out, and they are expanding as we speak. A wonderful company to work for. And they really support their members with education, and that is their foundation of how we grow. We help to teach people how to use the oils, because we don't want that you're just going to get the oils and then they're going to sit on the shelf. What's the point? The whole point of it is for you to use them and get the health benefits from them and continue to use them and then share them. So you get them, you get to love using them because of your own personal experience.
Yeah.
And then go from there. It's really been an amazing experience, and I'm happy to be a wellness consultant for them and spreading the word.
Amazing. You said, sitting on the shelf, that I had to ask this question. What's the shelf life of these essential oils?
Years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Yeah. So you'll see on the bottom of every bottle, there is the date, but they literally last years, especially once stored properly. Like I keep all mine in the box, I have a big case that I put them in, and I just close it, and I carry the ones that I want in a case that's closed in my purse. I don't leave it anywhere where it can get exposed to heat. And once they're in the tinted bottle, that's some level of protection. They don't have to go in the refrigerator, but they should be stored in a
In a
dark,
cool
cool
place.
place. Yeah.
Okay. Coming back to doTERRA, how can someone directly order with doTERRA, or how does the whole process work?
There's three ways that they can order. They can order direct, but nobody wants to do that because then you're not going to save.
Okay. And
You
everyone
can,
wants to save.
everybody wants to save, yes. And you can save 25% by being a member of doTERRA. And you would approach a consultant like myself to set up your account as a wholesale customer where you save 25% all the time for the rest of your life. There is an enrollment fee here in the UAE of 130 dirhams. If you spend, if you're just going to buy a certain amount of oils. I don't want to buy an enrollment kit. I just want to pick a couple of oils. And then there's an enrollment fee of 130 dirhams. But why would you want to do that when you get a kit that has 10 oils? You get the free wild orange, so it's 11 oils for 675 dirhams. Because you pay 130 dirhams, then you pay for the individual oils, and then there's a shipping fee of 25 dirhams. You're halfway to 675. With 675 for the enrollment kit, there is no enrollment fee and there's no shipping. So that's a great way to get in it. Or you can enroll as a wellness consultant because some people are already aware of essential oils. They might want to just switch over to doTERRA for something healthier for themselves to use and on their clients. So maybe they are a yoga instructor. Okay, I just want to do this as a business. And then they can do it as a business as well.
When you talk about business, so can somebody use these oils and start their own aroma products, saying that it is doTERRA oils, or how does that work?
They can make their own blends and retail them. That's fine. If they have an online store and that is against the rules. They cannot sell the doTERRA.
The oil by just itself. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You mean resell the same oil?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes. So that is completely possible. Make your blend, sell it to your clients, use them on your clients, say that they're yours. If people ask and you want to say that it's from doTERRA, then you're free to do that. Definitely. I always say yes for sure. Because most people, when they just start, they have no clue anyways.
Yeah.
But this is a great way that they can grow their business by telling people, yes, I made this with doTERRA. You can too. Join, because if you love it, then you can make your own blend.
Interesting. We were speaking at one point about skincare routines, and you've got your own blend of oils. I just did a podcast with a dermatologist, and so from you, I want to understand what time of the day is best to use these oil blends. Would you use it, before you sleep, that it does the whole rejuvenation bit when you're sleeping and, your body's going through the whole reset process, or would you use it during the day?
I would say it depends on what blend you're putting together. I use mine at nighttime only because I want it to, absorb, do its work overnight. If somebody adds like wild orange or something to their, because they want a fragrance, but then definitely don't put it on during the day. So it's really individualized. Now, I'm not like a skincare professional. So, but I stick to using that during the nighttime for the purpose that I use it for. Somebody might use it for something else for, just like a day cream. But I would recommend maybe put helichrysum and frankincense inside a lotion, and then they can apply that if they want that as a day cream.
Are there any oils which have sunscreen properties?
There are none on its own. However, doTERRA does have a sunscreen line. So, and I love their sunscreen line. I have the stick, and that is a mineral sunscreen, which is the best kind to use. And it's all infused with essential oils. And I find that my face is not greasy. You don't get the white film, and the coverage is great all day underneath my makeup. I don't even put moisturizer on. When you put it on, it feels like silk.
Wow.
It's so, so incredible. We don't have it here yet.
I was just going to ask you, is it available that we can buy?
I got mine from the US, but this is the first time I'm using it. They have the sprays that you can use all over your body. They have the stick like what I use. And they also have a lotion as well. There's like 4 kinds, I believe, but awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah. And I just love the way it feels on my skin. Smells great, as you can imagine.
Again, talking about health in general, are there any oils that help in gut cleansing the gut or anything, because I always feel that once you clean all, your gut is clean and all of the system is fine, overall health is beneficial.
Yes, we say health is wealth, as everybody knows. I would go with lavender. Again,
You're always lavender.
I love lavender. Imagine, I start off not liking lavender. Peppermint and lemon, those two, because peppermint, we all know it aids in digestion, and lemon cleanses the blood through the liver. So it's a liver detox, so you get the blood cleanse as well. And also wild orange, because when we peel the orange beneath it, there's that white fibrous, the pectin. That is actually a prebiotic when it comes into contact with the gut bacteria. So you're going to get that prebiotic benefit, and it's only in doTERRA that I can speak of. I've never seen that in any other. Yeah. So those two, you can just put both of them, one drop each in at least. Well, one drop in at least 120 mLs of water. Peppermint is super strong, so you could probably go 150, maybe even 200, and then add that one drop of lemon, because one drop is all you need.
One drop.
One drop.
Brings me to one of our, the special segment that we have, which is called the 1%. It was the perfect lead up to this. The podcast, the Gayu Lewis Podcast, is all about, 99% of our conversation is about women. And it's all about women, around women. How can we support women? But the true fact is, men are part of our lives too. Yeah, it's a reality. And I want you, what is your 1% advice for this, for the men in our lives? What can men do to better understand women and support them through their overall journey?
I would say listen to what the women are saying and not be judgmental, without judgment, without any preconceived notions of what you've heard before. Because we as women just like it when men listen to us. Men try to fix everything. Okay, I'm listening to you, but that's because you want me to do something and I don't know what to do. So sometimes you just want men to listen and to kind of understand and just be sympathetic or empathetic, because we're like that with each other. Yeah. So I would say just be that support.
Yeah. And don't judge. No
and
judgment.
Don't judge. Exactly.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Megan. I think I had an amazing time understanding about essential oils and how women, especially during the whole menopausal journey, can use and benefit, and also the fact that make sure you buy the essential oils, the pure ones, and not going for the cheaper options.
Exactly. Even if it's not doTERRA, just do your research. I think a great place that people can find, if they're inclined to look at peer-reviewed studies, because a lot of times when people are looking for something natural or looking to switch because they're so used to pharmaceuticals, all they know is the pharmaceuticals. Well, essential oils now have clinical research studies, and a lot of them that are online that you can look at. PubMed, Google lavender for depression or for anxiety or for insomnia. There's so much out there now. It's almost there's no way not to know if you're interested to do the research, or they can be in touch with me.
I was just going to say, before we leave, can you let our listeners know how they can get in touch with you?
I'm on LinkedIn, Megan Smith RN, Megan Smith RN, and they can follow me also on Instagram at iNurseOilEssentials.
Thanks a lot for today, Megan. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. Likewise. I was so happy to be here. I really enjoyed it.
That's a wrap for today. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to the podcast. And ladies, peppermint oil is something that you really need to have in your bag to avoid all those hot flashes. Yeah, I hope you got that. Until next time, menopause, why pause? Let's play.